What is up, everybody? I am the King, and welcome back to King Game Reviews. What up? We're doing another review today, and I thought I would take on some PS4 games. It's been a while since I've talked about a PS4 game, and I just got a PS4 again for the new God of War, for the new Spider-Man, for the new Last of Us. I'm really excited for these games, and I got a PS4 with like 9 games to mess around with, and I thought I'd review a few. So let's get started with Infamous: The Second Son. This is the game I got when I originally bought my PS4 at first. I got this game and The Order 1886, which I had already reviewed. You can check out that earlier video. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, but I still think my opinion on that game holds true. I don't think it's a great game, nor do I think it's even a good game. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Infamous Second Son. So the story for Infamous Second Son is that you play as a new character. You don't play as the guy from the last 2 games because, well, you know, they didn't want to do that. So the basic plot of this game is that it does not take place after the events of Infamous 1 and 2 because, well, you know, who cares? You don't play as the same main character from the first 2 games. You play as a new guy called Delsin Rowe, who is not a lightning mutant. He is not. He actually has brand new powers that we're going to get to in a minute. The story starts off with him spray painting a wall to show you that he's hip or cool or trying to be creative or free. I don't know. It just shows him spray painting a wall to show you it's his hobby. And he's trying to run away from his brother, who is a cop, and then as he's running away, a van that is full of conduits, or mutants, or whatever you want to call them, crashes, explodes, and 3 of them get away, one of them grabbing Delsin's arm, which transfers his power into Delsin because he actually is a conduit. He just has the ability to absorb powers from other conduits, making him the super ultimate conduit, I guess. He gains the ability to shoot smoke out of his hands and to teleport through objects by turning his body into smoke. He can wrap smoke around a chain he has, which can break stuff, so that's your melee attack. And it's a really nice change to the classic lightning powers that you have in Infamous. Now, I love the lightning powers in Infamous. I think they were awesome. I think they did a really good job with them. But it's awesome to see them do a change. So Delsin, using his new powers, chases after this conduit and then runs into the main baddie of this new game. The antagonist, her name is Brooke Augustine, and she is also a conduit who has the ability of concrete, which is pretty cool if I'm being honest. That's the most OP power in the game, kind of. Trying to interrogate you with what happens, she pretty much almost kills everybody in your village, jabbing them with concrete through their entire body, and the only way to remove the concrete powers is to get her powers. So you are set on a journey to go to Seattle to find Brooke, take her powers, go back to your village, and cure everybody. And from that we get a sweet ass game. I mean it. After this intro, the game really opens up to this huge world of Seattle. I don't know if it's an accurate depiction of Seattle. I've never been there, but the world they created in this game is awesome. For all your conduit powers that you get later on in the game, it works for it. Like for your smoke ability, you have the ability to shoot through vents, fire up into the air, and you're at the top of the building within a second. Or you can just go through chain link fences if you're trying to escape people. You can shoot up, or you can jump in the air and do a double smoke burst and just fly through buildings. It's really nice for traveling. And the city of Seattle is a very compressed place, so it's very easy to parkour off walls. There's plenty of vents and smoke places to take smoke from or to run away through. And there's a ton of stuff to do. They packed this game with side missions. They packed it with stuff to blow up, with things to graffiti. They packed it with enemies to defeat and big showdowns to be had. All tied into a story that is just okay. I'm sorry to say that the story of Infamous Second Son is not the main feature of this game that is awesome. It is actually the, I guess the weakest link, the story and characters. Not to say that the characters are terrible, it's just one of the things they implemented in the story, not that great, not that well handled. See, much like the previous Infamous games, you have the choice option in the story. At one point, the game is going to say, hey, Do you want to do this for everybody? Or do you want to be selfish and be evil? It's your choice, and they really don't amount to much. There's a few dialogue things that change later in the game, so I guess you could count that, but really nothing matters except for the main ending. However, Troy Baker, who plays Delsin Rowe, does make it watchable. He does a really good job portraying both the good and bad side of Delsin, even if his decisions don't make sense when it comes to his character. Because the problem I had with the last game is that main character, he really didn't sell me as a good guy. His voice and the way he looked, good or bad, he looked evil. So I never saw it to be a good guy. I always was evil. With Delsin, you never really see a bad guy. There was nothing that showed he had any form of evil intentions, or was selfish, or any of that. It really just showed he was okay. So I never saw myself to be bad, except to get an achievement. They haven't hit that line yet where they need a character that can be seen as both good and bad. But that's okay, because the gameplay in this game is pretty sweet. All of your conduit powers are awesome, and you don't just get one, you get 3. You get the smoke power, which you can evolve throughout the entire game. You get a laser power, where you fire, or neon it's called. You can shoot neon out of your hands, and you can burn enemies away. And this is your weak but precise shot, where you can get headshots on enemies, kill them instantly, or shoot them in the leg and paralyze them. That's one of the abilities you get later on. And you don't shoot through vents anymore through smoke. You run super fast, and you can even run up walls, or you can do a super jump with your neon, and it leaves a really cool trail. The particle effect on it is awesome. And it's probably my favorite ability in the entire game. It's definitely the one I use the most. The next power you get, I think it's called Video. It uses a bunch of crazy digital effects to create physical objects like swords, or if you're evil, it creates claws for your physicals. You can shoot angel wings out of your back to fly up buildings, or to shoot through, I think they're satellites. You shoot into satellites and it fires you through the sky, and you can clear major distances, and that's awesome. You can't fly, unfortunately, with this ability. That would have been amazing, but it's okay, because what you get with this is pretty awesome. And each ability not only has their own set of attacks and unique abilities, they each have ultra kill moves. That's what I like to call them. They're like super finishers. Like, say you're in the middle of a fight and you just can't win. There's too many dudes. If you get enough good or bad karma, depending on what you chose, you can build up this meter and hit one button, everything around you dies. It's amazing. No matter what the power, it is a spectacle to behold. The smoke is a giant bomb. You fire up into the sky and slam down on your opponent. The neon, you float them to the air, you bring everybody up into the air with you, and you shoot them with a hailstorm of neon bullets. The digital ability, you summon a bunch of angels, and they shoot up into the sky and slam down on the opponent, and it's just awesome. And as mentioned, there's a ton of stuff to collect in this game. You actually collect shards in this game, just like in the previous ones. You have to find them around the world, suck them up, and you can upgrade your abilities. You can even clear out sections of Seattle to gain new backgrounds for your t-shirts. It's not really worth it, if I'm being honest, other than the fact that, you won't get troubled by a bunch of DUP agents. That's the name of the main antagonist of the game, DUP agents. You won't get a lot of them on your tail if you kill them all in the clear section. But if I'm being honest, 100% completing this game, not really worth it. Unless you just want to keep playing this game to the very end, because if being honest, the gameplay is amazing. It's probably the best Infamous game to come out in a very long time. It's way better than Infamous 2 and Infamous 1. And the level design of Seattle, as I said, is great. It works with all 3 abilities. There's not one ability where you're like, oh, that was specifically designed for this, other than, the satellite for the thing and the vents for your smoke, and having neon signs all around the place to suck up. It still all fits very well, as if you didn't need those abilities and that was just there for its own purpose. The music in this game is okay. I mean, it didn't really stand out to me. It fits the game just fine, but it's not something you would just casually listen to. Which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But as for problems, I would have to say the story. I don't care about the story. I really only played this game for the powers and for clearing out Seattle and just running all over the place, creating chaos or being the hero. I've done 2 playthroughs of this game as good and bad, seen both endings. They really don't amount to anything. Yes, there is a big difference between the ending cutscene if you're good and the ending cutscene if you're bad. But I mean, the overall story, nothing really changes. And that's my main issue with the game. That and the last power you get in the game, unless you want to just mess around with Seattle, there's no point to getting it. Which sucks, because it's a really cool power to have. In the end, guys, Infamous Second Son is an amazing game. It is the best Infamous game in the entire series. It was a great launch title for the PS4. It's one I have put quite a few hours into. I've played through it twice, and I'm actually going through a 3rd playthrough as we speak. I want to try to 100% complete the game again and get the bad ending again. Just, you know, because evil rules. If you were thinking about getting this game, do it. If you've never played the Infamous games before, you don't need to know anything about the previous Infamous games to play this one, so don't worry about it. This is a great starting point for you. And in the end, Infamous, the Second Son, gets an 8 out of 10. That is my rating where I just absolutely recommend you buy the game. I think it is amazing, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And for those of you confused about my rating system, 5 is average, 6 is slightly above, 7 is solid, but still decide for yourself if you want to buy it. 8 is my absolute buy it recommendation. 9, what are you doing? Go freaking buy it, it's amazing. 10 is perfection. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I try my best to put effort into these things, even though it's a simple vlog style video. I hope I conveyed how much I like this game and how much I think you guys should get it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want. There will be more videos if you want me to review a modern game that you think is great or you think is terrible. Leave a comment. Tell me what game you think. Or if you just want to say something, tell me. Alright, that's enough. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.